Kids, would you ever say that to God? I don't want to. Jonah did. God said to Jonah, go to Nineveh. And Jonah said, I don't want to. Well, he didn't exactly say that to God, but that's what he was thinking back in Jonah's days. Before Jesus was born, the greatest city in the world was Nineveh. Everyone had heard of Nineveh and everyone knew it was an evil place. So, God had a job for Jonah. Jonah, God called, get up, go to Nineveh. Tell the people there that I know all about the terrible things they were doing. They think no one can see the evil things they do, but I see. But Nineveh was a big scary place and Jonah didn't want to go. So, do you know what Jonah did? He ran away. Jonah went down to Joppa and jumped on a ship that was sailing for Tarshish. Tarshish was a city in Spain, or maybe it was what we call the whole country of Spain now. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever, it was about as far away as a person could go. Jonah thought, God will never find me there. But God knows where every giant, ant, and bug on the face of the earth is. He knows when a mosquito lands on your nose. He knows where it came from and where it goes. Of course, God would know where Jonah went. So the ship put out to sea, with Jonah hiding from God below the deck. But God wasn't going to let Jonah get off the easy. Sometimes God has to send storms of one kind or another to bring us back to Him. But no matter how terrible the trouble, God's power is always greater. God is always with us, sometimes in amazing ways. Jonah was about to learn that. It was the worst storm the sailors on Jonah's ship had ever seen. The winds roared, rain stung the sailors' faces. The sailors were terrified. They were sure their ship would break in two. And so they started grabbing all the stuff they didn't need and throwing it over the sides to keep from sinking. Meanwhile, the one thing they really needed to throw over the side was asleep below the deck. It was Jonah. The captain crawled down under the deck and shook Jonah. Wake up, man. We are all going to drown. Pray to your God to save us. Above the deck, the sailors were fighting the storm with all their might. Why are the gods so angry with us? They shouted to each other. Let's draw straws. One of them shouted through the storm. Maybe this God, whoever he is, will show us who is causing all our trouble. And so they all scrambled below the deck and got some straws ready. Jonah drew the shortest straw. This is all my fault, Jonah said. My name is Jonah, and I am a Hebrew. I worship the Lord God, the God of Abraham, the creator of the earth and the sea and all that there is. What have you done to make your God so angry? The sailors asked. Oh, well, I am running away from God, Jonah said, and he told them the whole story. Sailors shouted, what can we do to save ourselves? Jonah said, throw me into the sea and you will be saved. The sailors, though they don't want to hurt Jonah by throwing him off the boat, so they tried to row the best they could, but the storm got worse. So they picked up Jonah and threw him into the sea. The storm immediately calmed and the sea became still. The men on the boat realized that Jonah believed in the one true God and prayed to him. As Jonah was thrown into the sea, a huge fish came and swallowed up Jonah. God actually sent the fish to keep Jonah from drowning. Jonah stayed in the fish for the 3 days and 3 nights. Jonah was trapped inside the fish. He did a lot of praying to God. He asked God to forgive him for running away. He also thanked God for not allowing him to drown. On third day, God told the fish to spit Jonah out onto dry land. And the fish did just as the God said. Jonah was happy to be out of the dark belly of the fish. Second time, God told to Jonah to go to Nineveh and tell the people there to stop being bad. This time, Jonah obeyed God and left for Nineveh right away. When Jonah got there, he told the people what had happened to him. He warned them that God said that they would stop doing bad things, or if not, within 40 days, the city and everything in it would be destroyed. To Jonah's surprise, the people listened to him. And they prayed to God and they said sorry for all the bad things they had done. Soon the king of Nineveh heard what was going on, and he ordered that everyone to listen to God and to stop doing bad things. And when God saw that they were trying to good instead of bad, he felt love for them and did not punish them. But now Jonah was mad. These people did mean, rotten and nasty things. They were famous for it. They didn't follow God, and still they had everything they wanted. It wasn't fair. How come they should get off so easy? Jonah grumbled to himself. Secretly, he had been looking forward to watching God really punish them good. Now, God was giving them a second chance. I knew this would happen. Jonah said to God, I knew you would let them off the hook. I guess Jonah forgot just who got let off the hook in the first place. I knew it. Jonah said to God, I knew that you are full of everlasting love and that you are always ready to forgive and to hold back from punishing. So Jonah walked to the edge of the city and sat down to pot. Maybe the city would go up in a ball of fire anyway. That is what he was hoping to see. Now the sun was burning down on Jonah. Sweat was rolling down his face and stinging his eyes. So God made a bush grow up next to where Jonah was pounding to shade him from the sun. Jonah was thankful for the bush and the comfort of the shade. But the next morning, God sent a worm to eat the roots of the bush. The bush withered and died. When the sun came up, God sent a scorching eastern wind heated by the desert. The sun beat down on Jonah's head until Jonah nearly fainted. Jonah cried out to God, Why don't you just take my life now and save me from this misery? God said, Jonah, do you think I have stopped loving and caring for you? I could never do that. You are so upset because I let a little bush die. But you want me to destroy the whole city of Nineveh. Aren't all these people worth far more than a little weed? Didn't I forgive you? Even though you tried to run away from me, I love you so much. Even though these people didn't know me and they sinned against me, I love them as much as I love you. And then at last Jonah understood that God truly is slow to anger and always willing to forgive us when he turned to him. Now he knew that our wonderful God truly is tender-hearted and forgiving and overflowing with a love for us that will never end.